Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please
Good morning.
enter in the chat. Your good morning and your institution. And I see Marcy's on. Holy cow, Marcy! What'd they do? They forced you to come on this morning?
Oh, dear. Hi, Marcy.
Hi,
Hi.
Marcy. This is fantastic. All right. Oh, everybody's entering their good mornings. Good morning. Good morning to the virtual monthly meetup. We'll just wait a minute for everybody to get kind of oriented. Oh, the meeting's being recorded. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Look at this. I such great service in my office. Is tea arrived this morning. I'm having tea this morning because our guest speaker is Zoe Fowler, who's originally from England. So I wanted to be culturally appropriate. Is that okay with you, Zoe? You're muted.
Kind of does depend upon what kind of tea it is, though. I mean,
Well, I'm not a
that
savage, so
Liz?
it's Yorkshire tea.
Oh, excellent. Yorkshire tea for Yorkshire
Yeah.
water.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, I see Costas has his camera on. Hey, hello, hello. And hi, Sean and Jay. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can see all the participants. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Tony Colson from Cal State San Bernardino, and we lead the CAE Community National Center. A lot of you already knew that. And I know that things have been very boring in what's going on in the government. No real news happening every single day. Yeah, it's a very exciting time to be alive in the cybersecurity space. As is our tradition, I will start. There's a guy named Stan Kotska who insists that I tell a joke every time we start this. So I am going to start with the joke, and then we'll get into our agenda this morning. So a moth walks into a podiatrist's office, and the doctor looks at the moth and says, can I help you? And the moth says, it is so hard being a moth. Just yesterday I was in a cocoon. I come out of the cocoon. I'm not even sure which way to go. I'm trying to find things to eat. I'm trying to discover the whole world. And the podiatrist stops him and says, "Okay, but I'm a podiatrist. What are you doing here?" And the moth says, "The light was on." I liked that one. I don't know.
That was a good joke.
Was it? Okay, good. Is Stan Kotska on? I need his approval. If yeah, okay. All right. Well, we'll go with that. I see Stan's on, but I need his approval. He'll tell me later, I'm sure. Stan?
You got to read the comments, Tony, and time it.
Thanks, man.
I heard Norm Macdonald tell that joke yesterday. Amazingly enough.
Are you kidding?
No.
Wow. Because I heard he passed away. But if you're hearing Norm,
well, there's this thing called the internet, and the.
Wow, that's actually hilarious. Okay, that's an oldie but a goodie. All right, well, thank you, everybody. So I want to welcome you all. As you know, next month we won't be having the VMMU because we're going to see most of you in person at the CAE Community Symposium in Charleston, South Carolina. The symposium, this is the biggest response we've ever had for people to attend the symposium. We actually have, I believe, 600. We had 600 tickets available. Now, just to put this in perspective, if we went back a few years, we were topping at 200 attendees, and so 600, and we sold out ahead of time, which was entirely unexpected. But that just means we're going to have a really good event with lots of breakout time for people to network and lots of different content than some of the things that you've seen before, but a lot more presentations from your peers. I'm going to pass things to Vanessa real quick so that she can tell you a little bit about some of the highlights of the schedule, and some things we want from you. So go, Vanessa.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So I'd first like to start off. We are having a pre-function event. Besides pre-registration on Monday evening from 5 to 7, the Curriculum Expo Happy Hour, Towson and Clark are running this expo, and they're going to have prizes. They're going to have just a lot of fun stuff, tabling. They're going to have drink tickets for the first 200 folks. Marcy, if you're hearing this and I'm saying it at all wrong, please hop on, like just jump in and correct me. But it's going to be a really good time. It's all the Monday before. And it'll just be really fun.
So it says light food. So if I know Towson, what is it going to be? Beluga caviar, Marcy, or just the kind of the regular stuff?
Look, I wish it was going to be caviar, but no, it is truly going to be light fare because those hotel prices. So,
Oh, well, that's
That's great.
disappointing because Dan Manson, when he attends an event, he generally prefers caviar. Okay, well, we'll let him know.
maybe we can
So
order just
I'm
like,
on, so you just let me know.
but first 200 people get drinks, and yes, it will be, it's going to be great. There's going to be passports. So, to help people go around and see a variety of the curriculum that's being displayed, prizes, it's going to be fun.
Great,
Excellent.
cool. So now we're going to jump into just some of the highlights, and the agenda will be updated here on our website soon. But we'll have breakfast on all 3 days. Right before the event, we have some working lunches. We do have a sponsored reception on day 1, which is Tuesday from 5 to 7. We'll also have food and beverages there. Wednesday, we have our designation ceremony. It's from 9 to 10. A lunch again, and dismissal will be at 5. And then Thursday is our half day. We'll still have breakfast. And here you'll get to hear from the national centers. And we're going to have some working groups similar to last year, different topics this year. And then we'll all dismiss at noon. There are some activities going on afterwards, and it's the CPNC, the competency training is happening at 1 o'clock that afternoon, and they did have a sign up, and I believe it's closed now. But you'll hear from Zoe soon, right after she'll get into this and some of the other things that they're doing. But those are the highlights for what to expect at the symposium in a couple weeks.
So there's a more detailed agenda that gets into which breakouts and all of the presentations that will be happening. We're not prepared to publish that just yet because, as you may or may not have heard, there's some movements related to travel in the federal space. And so some of our government speakers we're awaiting to hear from them as to whether or not they'll be permitted to travel to the event. Right now, everything is looking like it will proceed as normal, but we didn't want to publish anything with names on it just in case there was some last minute changes. I believe we're going to have the final agenda out probably around March 20, Vanessa, am I correct?
Yeah, that would give us some solid answers from some of our, partners that we're waiting for.
Exactly. So after the continuing resolution has been passed, I think everybody will take a deep breath, and then we'll be able to figure out the full extent of government participation, but also faculty participation. Looks like it's again going to be very strong. Let's see. We're going to move right along because remember, we try to keep these meetings very short. I would love to introduce our good friend Zoe Fowler, who is working on the competency program, and she's going to talk a little bit about the competency training workshops. So, Zoe?
Great. Well, thank you for inviting me to talk. I am going to jump into, I'm hoping this is going to share. Is that showing for everybody?
No, we're seeing pictures of, or we're just seeing the top bar of CAE Community VM competency.
Right. Okay, it's showing on my machine.
Hmm.
Let me try again.
Okay. Now we're seeing what looks like your vacation pictures.
Excellent. That's great to know. I love having a bit of security.
There we go. We're
Yeah?
good.
Has
Yep.
that one come up for you now?
Yep.
Okay. Right. So I wanted to start off by just explaining how we've got to the point of doing the workshops and the rationale behind that. So we've been working on this for about 4 years now. The approach to competency was tasked initially to Vinny. Vinny Nessler. I was brought on in 2020, and we've grown since then. And we have this incredible working group. We're very fortunate to have had some really amazing members. And I've kept Glenn's name here as well. We miss Glenn Dietrich greatly. So our working group have worked together with an example of collegiality, which I think CAE community really excels at. We were tasked with defining competency. And the reason for focusing on competency is to create a bridge between what we're doing in terms of education within the CAE community and what is needed in terms of employment. We want to make sure that our students are not only knowledgeable and skilled in cybersecurity, but that they also graduate our programs with a high degree of employability. That led to us defining competency. And again, this has been a very collaborative process. With our working group, we explored different possible ways of conceptualizing competency. We came up with a definition that competency is the ability of the individual to complete a task in the context of a work role. And this is now the PMO approved definition of competency. So when you're hearing competency talked about within the CAE community, this is what we're talking about. We're thinking about tasks being completed by the individual in the context of a work role. And central to that, if we're going to build a bridge between education and employment, we wanted to make sure that we had a shared syntax. We wanted to keep it very simple. If Vinny was here, he'd talk a lot about that commitment simplicity, which would maintain throughout this. If we're all going to speak the same language, we're going to do that most effectively if it's a simple language. So we identified 5 essential elements, and this is the bedrock of these workshops that we're doing. Our elements are who, what, how much, and central to everything is this aspect of employability. How do we make sure our students are employable? And we know already that being employable is more than just having the technical knowledge and skills. It's also having that ability to be effective within the workplace, to be able to communicate effectively, to be able to collaborate, to be able to make good ethical decisions, to demonstrate leadership skills. So when we talk about competency, we're using this ABCDE framework. Who is our student? What knowledge and skills do they already need to have in place to be able to demonstrate competency? What task are they going to be doing within this competency? And that's related to either NICE or DCWF frameworks. And then central is context. How this is the description of the activity that we're providing to our students so that they have the opportunity to build and demonstrate competency. When we're talking about writing a competency statement, we are describing the activities that we are providing to our students. This is not about assessing students. It's not about evaluating students. This is about professional development of providing these educational opportunities to enhance our students' employability. When we think about degree, we're thinking about how much in terms of time, accuracy, or completion. But the reason we're thinking about degree is we're thinking about what would competency in this task look like to an employer. We're moving away from our academic ways of assessing students. And when we're thinking about competency, we're thinking about what would be good enough for an employer to hire somebody to do this task. To give you more information, if you want to find out a little bit more about this, we developed a video. Again, this has been approved by PMO. This was something that we worked on with our working group, and I'll make sure these slides are available to you as well. But you can use the scan code here to find the video which we did, which will give you a taster of the kind of workshops that we're doing. And we also have a handbook, and that handbook tells you a little bit more about how these 5 elements work. And central to this as well, it's just a way of sharing good practice across the community. There's so many exciting ways in which we're developing our students' employability through capstone projects, through activities that we're doing within the classroom, through competitions, through internships. And the handbook and the video both are intended to provide a way of starting to share these by talking about them in the same way, by using this same definition and these elements. And that's also been central for workshops that we've delivered. So since we've developed the definition of the elements, we've delivered workshops. You can see Vinny and me at front in this photo. Vinny's rubbing his chin. We've delivered workshops so far to 225 educators from 166 institutions. So we're getting quite a breadth of coverage here. Typically, the workshops are around 4 hours long, and we make them very interactive, very engaging. We know that we're working with educators who have so much expertise, and we want to use these workshops as a way of sharing that expertise, thinking about curricular design, thinking about those wider opportunities that we give to our students, and providing this collaborative professional development so that we're all best serving our students. So within our workshops, the kind of things that we're doing, we're thinking about designing and developing opportunities for students to apply knowledge and skills in real world scenarios. And I know a lot of people are familiar with competency at the moment in terms of redesignation. When you're being asked to write your competency statements for the purpose of redesignation, this is not focused on assessing students. This is focused upon you being able to describe the kind of things that you're providing to your students through your designated course. The reason we want to be sharing these competency statements is to really build awareness of the work roles and the frameworks and the kind of tasks we can give to our students so that they get this experience of having a go at operating in the different kind of work roles described within the DCWF or NICE frameworks. And we also want to provide opportunities for our students to develop the professional skills. The slide that you can see here is really central to workshop training. It's showing how we begin by looking at a task within a workforce framework. And then ultimately that can become a point on a student's resume. It can become a talking point in an interview. We want our students to be able to talk about those opportunities that they've had at doing a task and understanding the kind of ethical judgments they might have to make around being a systems administrator, providing permissions for users, the kind of communication skills they might need to have, reporting up towards the C-suite, the opportunities we're giving our students to collaborate, as they will have to in the workplace. And really driving forward this career awareness so that our students develop that self-efficacy to build their own careers. We're also wanting to keep our curriculum timely and relevant in a rapidly changing ecosystem. We know that cybersecurity changes almost by the minute. And we're also within these workshops thinking about ways to engage stakeholders and advisory bodies. To become part of the CAE, we all know that we have to have an employer-led advisory body, and this provides a way to talk to that advisory body and get them more engaged in the kind of opportunities that we're providing to our students. We've got a huge amount of feedback. I'm by nature a researcher. I collect data constantly. I thought I'd just throw some kind of comments in here. We have had positive feedback across the board. The only criticism we've had was when we delivered a training session where unfortunately we had to do it between two different classrooms, with Vinny and I delivering from the doorway connecting those two classrooms on a particularly hot day when there was no air conditioning. So we did get some negative feedback for that, but on the whole, for the content of workshops, we've had great feedback. And I love this quote down at the bottom from Stephen Castleman, who talks about having a whole notebook of eureka moments. We're interested in professional development. We're interested in what people are doing within their CAEs and how they can showcase and share the things which are working for them, and also have the time to explore and think about new things that they might be doing with their students. I'm delivering a workshop. Vinny and I are delivering a workshop at St. Mary's University in San Antonio, thanks to Ayad Barsoom. We're very grateful that they're hosting us. 2 seats have just become available for this. So if anyone wants to jump on a plane and come down San Antonio for Friday, we would be able to accommodate you for that. We're also delivering 2 more workshops at CAE Symposium. Currently, they're waitlisted. We had a huge amount of interest in both of these. In terms of future workshops, that's going to depend upon funding. I feel that the response from the community has been so good that there's a real value in continuing to take these opportunities to talk about what we're doing as educators and to share good practice and to think about investing in the employability of our students. Okay, and I am going to hand this back now. If I just stop sharing my screen.
Do you want to take a moment for a few questions?
Absolutely.
Questions for Zoe Fowler.
I mean, really, it's just a whistle stop to just demystify what we're doing a little bit.
Zoe, will we know at the conference if we're going to be able to get into one of these sessions since you have the wait list?
The best thing to do would be to email me or email Lizette. If you email me, I could put you in touch with Lizette. She's phenomenal. She's been handling the wait list for this. We advertise through the CAE website. We've tried to make sure that people hear about these beforehand, but obviously there's such an appetite for them at the moment that we've not been able to accommodate everyone. If you have an interest, I do also recommend looking at that video and looking through the handbook. And you can also have a go at writing your own competency statements through the competency constructor, which is hosted by SecureEd. This is a really user-friendly platform for developing a competency statement using those 5 essential elements. And what I'll do is just pop that into the chat as well.
Thanks, Zoe.
And then I saw in the chat question has come up. Yeah, the workshops are intended for the educators, primarily the point of contact and other educators within a program of study which has been approved.
I see
Would there be a
Deborah
cost
Nielsen
involved for
had a
attendance?
question, which Zoe, which was how to register for the St. Mary's workshop.
Again, if you email me and I'll put my name in here, if you are able to come along on Friday, you would be very welcome.
Do you think that you'll be able to record one of these training sessions? So if people did not attend and there's no other opportunity in the future to attend, they could watch it?
That would be a great idea to do in the future. At the moment, we're not tasked to do that and we don't have technology set up. These sessions are very interactive. There's lots of group work, lots of discussions. So we're not able to do that at the moment, but that would be something we would be interested in doing moving forwards.
Zoe, good afternoon. Would there be a cost involved for the, for attendance?
All the workshops are provided for free as
Oh.
part of our grant within the Careers Preparation National Centre. And we did have some stipends. I think there may still be some stipends available for people attending from those schools who are redesignating in 2026 and 2027.
Okay, perfect. I'll shoot you an email with information. I guess the variable would be trying to get a ticket to the site. So thank you for the information.
Now,
You're very
the
welcome.
workshops are free, but gratuities are accepted, right, Zoe?
Yeah, and it's the awful thing, we've not yet been offered any gratuities, Tony. So I think we're doing something wrong.
We will make sure at the symposium, as you know, we are known for our door prizes and the quality of those door prizes. So we'll see if we can get you a gratuity as well.
Thank you. I could bring a guitar case and kind of put a screwed up dollar bill in it and leave it by the door.
Any other questions for Zoe?
I mean, the other thing I should mention, sorry. So alongside the platform, the cyber competencies platform for uploading your competency statements, Secure Ed is also developing this amazing e-library. And the e-library has, I believe, got about 155 competency statements in at the moment. Again, ways of people to showcase the kind of things they're doing. So, so when we're looking at this task, this is what we've been doing with our students. And that description through competency statement is available for anyone to have a look at. So you've got like 155, something like that, statements available. And you would be able to get the link to that library through setting up an account on cybercompetencies.com.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Zoe. Thanks for your time. Does anybody else have any other questions? Last I heard a voice. Okay, we're good. Somebody asked me in the chat, they said, are you drinking from a Starfleet mug? It's a requirement in my profession that I have to, Star Trek. It's a thing. So anyway, we'll go with that. Actually, this is a Star Trek captain shirt as well. All right, I digress. Every year when we do the symposium, we have we have something that is on the screen that is rotating. We've had everything from thoughts from Art Conklin to pictures of faculty to pictures of pets, etc. This year we have picked our theme, and I'm going to turn it over to Vanessa. Vanessa, what is our theme that we would like people to contribute to so that we can put their what they're doing up on the screen?
So our theme this year is what inspires you. It can be your pets, it can be your kids, it can be a vacation, it can be the sunset, and it can
be your students.
It
as
could
long
be
as
your
you have
student.
permission to put their pictures up. Yes.
Yes. So we're asking for, I'm going to drop it here in the chat. We're asking for anything that inspires you, what gets you going, what's creative, what makes you happy, right? And we'll feature those pictures in the rotating slide deck throughout the entire event. Of course, it's not mandatory. It's just all fun.
Yep. So whatever inspires you, that's it. What do you think is cool? What do you think is interesting? We just want to know a little bit more about you and what gets you up in the morning. So please go ahead and write down that link. We'll be sending that out in an email very soon so that we can put what inspires you up on the big screen during the symposium breaks and so on and so forth. I want to thank all the faculty, by the way, that have contributed to the door prize fund. We have, I think you guys have exceeded our expectations this year. I think the discontinuation of the penny really helped a lot of you with the quality of donations that we've received as far as what we're going to be able to buy from door prizes. So I believe that last year, my friend Ping Wong, he contacted me and said he is yet to win a door prize. So stand firm. You might be a big winner this year. With that, I think that pretty much closes it. Does anybody have anything that's like a burning question that's on their mind? Praveen, I see your child just went and decided to show up. Do you want to introduce real quick?
Oh, sure. I'm Praveen. I'm from LaGuardia with City University of New York. We recently got our designation, so we've been working for the last 2 years in process of applying, and we just got it. So happy to be here.
Well, that's fantastic. Who do you have with you today? Who did you bring?
Oh, I'm at home, so
yeah. But let's see. Introduce.
It's my son. So.
Hello. All right. So now we already know what inspires you as well. Well, welcome to the community, Praveen. I hope to see you in South Carolina.
It's already closed. It's already sold out, so we don't know like if we can show up. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
maybe the
Well,
next one.
well, welcome to the VMMU, and I hope you enjoyed the joke I told today.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
thank you.
we are right at 9:30, so I want to thank everybody. These are short meetings with short presentations just to connect in the community. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you in May. But those of you that are coming to South Carolina, we'll see you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.